Officer J back here. So this is going to be the second video today. This one's going to upload a little bit later on today. Like I said in the previous video, this video is going to be more of a Q&A style. We've had a few. I'm not going to be able to get to all of them today, but we'll get to a couple of them. And then after that, we'll save some more and then just keep getting more for another time. But to start off, so I can't record and look at this at the exact same time. So this is just 3 of them that I remembered. So one of them was the weirdest excuse that you ever received from somebody to get out of a ticket? I've heard some weird ones. When it comes to tickets and people giving excuses, it's almost like you have to take them on their word, but it's not really even taking them on their word. It's just like, hey, this incident is pretty much, is the incident important enough to be like, hey, I'm not gonna take your time away to either write your ticket or even if I was gonna give you verbal warning. But the weirdest one was a guy who's telling me that he's trying to get his wife to the hospital to deliver a baby, and the woman is visibly not pregnant. Like, you know, just a toothpick. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna say that every woman has to be, you know, 9 months looking like they're 10 months pregnant, but you know, this person is like a size 2 dress, you know, maybe a size 1. It's like, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, bro, really? He's like, man, I tried. You know, I was like, I get it. I said, but he's like, man, it was the first one that came to mind. I was like, I get it, you know. And it's not weird of what he said, because I've heard even weirder, and I might even get to that another time. I think it made it weird. It was like weird and uncomfortable because I'm trying to remain professional and like not say something that I would say outside the uniform, but it's like, bro, I'm looking at your wife who's sitting in the passenger seat, and I know it's your wife because I know who you are. And it's like, you're saying you're not only you saying she's not, you're not just saying she's pregnant, you're saying you guys are going to the hospital to deliver a baby, and I'm looking at her right now, and I'm like, what baby? Like, whose baby? Somebody else's baby? Because it's not your baby. But there's that one. Another question that I remember from the list was, how did that one go? Language barriers. Pretty much how do you interact with people when there's a language barrier? Usually, Google Translate. I'll have it. I'll press a little microphone button. They'll speak into it, translate it back to me. There is some loss of translation, but it's good enough to get the gist of what they're trying to say. It's slower, it is, but at the end of the day, I mean, when you have a language barrier, it's the best you can do. You know, not everybody can speak every language. Sometimes when it's like Spanish speaking people, there's some, I know, key phrases that I can, you know, are you okay, license, insurance, registration, where did he go, is this your house, you know, I know, and some other ones too. I know a few things I can pretty much, and then I know some words that, like, if I hear a word and then I hear a keyword, I can kind of fill in the blank and be like, okay, he's trying to say this. I don't know exactly in detail, but this is the subject he's speaking on. The weirdest one I have when I worked for my first agency is whenever it was a house full of deaf people. And I mean a house. It was maybe 6 people that lived in the house, and all of them were deaf. I think it was some type of a group home for the deaf. And out of the 6, I think 4 of them were couples. So, you know, we'll get disturbances or whatever from them. And, you know, they're signing and you don't know what the signing is. And then because you have 6 people all trying to do sign language, and it's not even like hearing at this point, now your eyes can't track all the hand motions, even if you knew it, because you're trying to be like, you can tell that they're angry because of their body language, but you don't really know what they're saying until you see somebody like flip somebody the bird, and now you're like, that person is you can at least tell what that person's saying. And I ended up having one of my buddies, he knew sign language, and he was at college, he had created a little app or whatever. It wasn't the best app, but it, you know, it got the job done. It was an app that where he you can put your camera towards it, and if they were signing slow enough, it will pick up the sign language and then translate it, and then you could type it into it. And then I think the app has actually been improved. You probably can find it on Facebook. I'm not sorry, the Apple Play Store or Google Play Store, or the Apple Store. You know, I think it's free to download, but so you can and then you can type it, and then it'll sign out what you just typed. Like at the time, it was kind of still in the works. But yeah, like I said, language barriers, they're barriers. It's for a reason. Like, some barriers can be traversed, but it still is a barrier. Let's see, one more. And then that last question would be, somebody asked me, did I ever accidentally hit the siren button while trying to mess with the radio? No. A lot of people don't know the siren boxes. I mean, there's different style boxes and things, but your sirens aren't usually connected to your radio. But I have accidentally turned on the light, because a lot of times it's buttons, and it's kind of where your center console be, you know. So if you just place your arm down like you normally would in your personal vehicle, you can accidentally turn on your center console. That has happened many times. And sometimes it's happened where my lights are on and no siren, but my lights are on, and I don't know, because obviously it's on the top of the car, can't see it. So there's been times where I see all these, I'm at a red light, or I'm just driving on the road, and all these cars are acting funny, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? It's like, why are you guys all moving to left or right? And then you either see the reflection, or after a while, you see them moving left and right, your brain naturally says, hey, if they're all moving to the side whenever they see me, maybe I should check and see if my lights are on. Usually they are. Sometimes you will leave a traffic stop, forget them on, or you'll leave a call and you had to run code. It's called running code. You'd have to run code to the call, and sometimes you normally don't run code to call, so you're not in the natural mind state of turning your lights off, and then you do whatever you gotta do, then you leave and your lights are still on, and you're just coming on the road, and people like just getting out of your way out of respect, but then it's like, dude, I'm not going anywhere. But so yeah, that's happened. Also, most police cars, the horn is tied to the siren. So sometimes when you have a driver that does something dumb, and like even in our end, we see drivers do crazy things on the road, but sometimes it's not stop worthy. Like like, I'm gonna blow my horn at you. I don't feel that you should be stopped and get a ticket, but what you did, it's kind of like you turned in front of me. You had enough space, but it still wasn't the safest move. It's like, dude, there's nobody behind me, There's nobody behind me, so you saved 2 seconds, but you potentially could have caused a wreck to save those 2 seconds. So incidents like that, you'll hit the horn, because that's probably what you do in your personal vehicle, but then you realize it's not a horn because it's tied into a police car, it's a siren. So you do that, it kicks on the siren, your lights aren't on, so you can visibly see these people in the back, in the rearview mirror looking for the cop, like, oh my God, what happened? So that has happened. We have a few more questions, like I said, but I'm gonna get to those in another video. Other than that, you guys don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos with your friends.